Okay guys, so we're going to learn how to FTP a photo, say from when we would receive it in an email. So I recently received the Spanish version for JR's memorial. So there are a bunch of things that I could do right now. I could save image as, or I could download and then save from my downloads. But for me on a Mac, the quickest option is to save image as, and then because I do keep all of my artwork on an external drive, I'm going to save it in a location that's always easy for me to find. So I always follow the same protocol. So JRMC is the event code that I'm using right now. Banner, sorry, first it would be Spanish. Because there's only ever going to be one of these dates, I'm not putting a date. But then because this is the initial image, I'm not putting a pixels. So I'm simply just going to save this image to my file. I've actually already done this, so I'm just doing this as a demo. So I've just taken that email and I have just saved it. I could save it to my desktop. I could save it to my hard drive. The important thing is that I'm going to be able to find it. So I've just saved that file. Now all I need to do, well, there are two things to be careful of. So let's say, for example, let's have a look at the file that I just have. So to inspect this element, it tells me that this is, actually, and this is a harder way to look at it. I'm going to say, for example, open this file in Photoshop. So this is the folder where I just saved it to, and let's have a look. JRMC Spanish banner. This is the file that I just saved from email.
How did you open Photoshop? I wasn't clear.
Oh, yeah, sure, no worries. So basically I just toggled over to Photoshop. So I just open my Photoshop and then I do Apple O or Command O, and then whatever file I need, I'm like, okay, I know that I just saved it to my external hard drive, so I'm just opening my external hard drive and going to that folder. So then this is the file that I want. So this is the file that I just saved. Similarly, I could have downloaded it from my, do you know what I mean, just hit download in my email server and it would show up in downloads. But instead, I saved it to a specific location. So depending on what works for you in your workflow, you can choose either of those. So then we're just going to open it in Photoshop. To me, this is the easiest place to resize an image. So right now, I'm going to go, oh, sorry, I'm not going to use shortcuts. I'm going to go image, and I'm going to say image size. I really need to know this because if I don't know how big the image is, if I use that as an image URL, it could splash a massive image in a space that doesn't work. So what I need to do is I need to resize it the way that I want to. So I'm going to hit OK, and now I'm going to save it in a way that I know how big that file is, and that's why we do Banner 960, because that's the version that we use for Eventbrite. So again, I'm also going to go image size, and this time I'm going to change the pixel width down to 630 because that's the size that we need for the MSIA homepage. So I'm going to save it as 630. Well, right now I'm changing the size to 630, and then I'm going to save. So then I'm going to save as, I'm going to save an additional copy at 630 JPEG. So I'm going to save. I've actually already done this. That's why it's asking me to replace. Usually I wouldn't. So then I can completely get out of that. I can close that, and then I'm going to go over to my fetch application. And say, for example, if this was not open, I would just go down, I would click on my little puppy, and if you've already logged in, you never need to do this. You only do this once. But the default that is very important that you follow is ndh.org as hostname, ZGoLightly as username, and then FTP I'm pretty sure is the default, but regardless you need to choose FTP. And the password is all small case, lowercase, APPLES33. and feel free to add it to keychain so that it remembers. So then hit connect. We do have a lot of files currently loaded, so it takes maybe like 15 seconds to load. And then the only button we need to worry about here is the put button. So basically we're just going to put images online, essentially. So I'm just going to hit put, and then what I need to do is I just need to locate where I just saved my files. So it was in my external hard drive in a folder for the JR Memorial, and I can actually upload many at one time. So right now I just saved the original version, I saved a 960 pixel version, and I saved a 630 pixel version, and I need all of them. Deborah needs this for the homepage. Everyone else needs this for Eventbrite and the calendar. And then this, I just always keep a high-res version in case David or Products wants it. So I'm going to highlight by clicking Command as I click the other ones. I'm going to highlight all of them. Or I could do them one by one, but I'm going to highlight them all, the ones that I want, and hit put. And that has effectively loaded all 3 images, and you can see the success down here, but if it says transfer. So then what I do is I go over to the web, if it lets me, and then I want to find out, did it actually load? So we only have one domain beginning, and that is ndh.org/sw/, and then we simply just paste the file name that we were just using. I could instead choose 630 because it's all exactly the same formula, or I could go, no, wait, I want the original's massive, or no, I want 960.
Perfect.
And that's how we do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.